Folks, lots of you are probably considering getting yourself a home electric car charger at the moment, perhaps for your plug-in hybrid or your all-electric car. I've had a few problems with mine of late. I actually had to get some replacement parts. It wasn't the smoothest process, and I thought, actually, I haven't done a video on getting a charger installed for quite a long time, so I reached out to OHME. Now, I reached out to OHME because they work sort of hand in hand with Octopus, and Octopus is my chosen utility supplier, so I thought it should make all the smart charging side of things as simple as possible. I should mention, folks, that OHME have given me the charger and the install free of charge. They've got absolutely no editorial rights over this video. They haven't given me a list of things to make sure I say or anything like that. This is a very, very honest overview of the initial sort of sign-up process with OHME, the pre-install and the installation. So I hope you enjoy it. Hello folks, I'm on my drive at the moment, and over here somewhere is my electric car charger. But I've decided it's time for a change, and a big part of the reason for that is the fact that I've now got 2 electric cars, and I quite often have a third. I'll have a third one in for review. So this little roller skate here, the 𝑘𝙉𝙉𝙆𝙎, often gets put right down here, or even into the gravel a bit. And to be honest, like the cable length I've got 5-meter cable, but it's often not long enough without having to shift the cars around and things like that. By the way, my current charger, which has featured in the channel before, did let me down a couple of weeks ago. They had to send me replacement parts. I didn't find the support service particularly user-friendly, shall I say, and that's another part of the decision why I've decided to make the change. So I'm now in what is currently the kids' playroom. This is actually going to become my son's bedroom at some point. There's been a bit of an issue here, which I shall spin around and show you. Up here, you can see we've got a flat roof above here, and we've had a few leaks. So it's become a little bit of a dumping ground at the moment. It's a lot of my camera equipment and all sorts of nonsense lives in here, but it used to be the garage. And in here, got gas meter, electric meter, all that kind of stuff. Here's the main consumer unit, and then this was the extra that was put in when I had the car charger installed. The cabling at the moment runs underneath the ceiling, down to the front, and then just over there, the other side of the window really, is where the car charger sits currently. The OHME installer could well change all that. They may decide that that's not the best place for it. They might have different ideas about if that's the right way to do it or not. They may run different cable, I don't really know. So we'll have to wait and see, but what I'm going to do for now is go through the process on my phone that you'll have to go through if you actually order one of these. So I'll pop this up on, I've just tried on a dog's squeaky toy. Welcome to my world, folks. So I've just gone into this on the phone for the first time. They send you a unique link and you just put in your email address, phone number, etc. Now, my personal details are already in this. Obviously, I'm not going to show all that on here. My address is in there. So my car, estimated delivery date, well, I've got it. Do you need permission to install an electric vehicle charger? No, I don't. It says, for example, if you're renting or if the building's listed. None of those are the case here. Where's your parking space located? Directly next to my home. So with the standard install, I believe that caters for a 15-meter cable run. So as long as you don't want the installation point further than 15 meters away from your consumer unit, you should be all right with the standard install fee. Otherwise, I guess it's going to cost you a bit more for the extra cable and any extra labour that goes for it. We need to understand where you park relative to your home. This will help us determine if your charger can be affixed directly to your home or not. Please take some photos of where you park and where you'd like your charger. This is going to be a bit easier for me because there's already a charger in the picture, but for lots of you, there'll be a blank wall. Let's go and do that now. This is where I park. Going to use that one, and then we're going to show where we want the charger. Going to use that one, and I'm going to do another one just here so they can see the charger. Then a couple of pictures about the electricity supply. Next, I have to do a little video to show where I expect the cable run to be. That's just to give the installer some information before they come. They might look at that and think, ooh, that's not going to happen. or yeah, that's absolutely fine, I need this, this and this in order to do it. So forewarned is forearmed and all that, I guess. So I'm just going to film that now. So there's the current cable for the current charger, which I'm looking to replace. So it comes out the top there, actually runs along the ceiling there, and then pops back out, and it's behind a bit of trunking here. And then the actual charger is just on the wall just outside this window. Now at this point the recording didn't work for some reason, so I'm filling this in afterwards, but as you can see I had to do a little bit of a plan as to where the current consumer unit is and where I want the charger to be. So there's my high quality sketch. I've got the consumer unit marked, the meter marked, the line where I expect the cable run to be, that's where it currently is anyway, and then there's the charger on the outside wall, and I've just noted the drives. So a really rough kind of floor plan of the house, and as you can see I really did a rough job of it. And I also had to input some information from my electricity bill. There's just a unique number which is kind of the reference number for your electricity meter, etc., and that needs to be input into the app, and not too much more than that really. And then there's the confirmation. You did it. You successfully provided all the information needed to access your electric vehicle charger installation. We'll pass your details on to one of our partners and they'll be in touch shortly to arrange an installation date. So I'd say start to finish, that's probably taken me maybe 15 minutes. And obviously I'm making a video at the same time, so it's not a particularly arduous task, and it probably saves a lot of faffing about, saves like a installation visit, which would only delay things really. So I'm quite happy to do that. I went through a very similar process last time, although the actual online journeys are probably a bit easier with this OHME one. So yeah, no issues so far. I'll wait for a call from the installer. That call came about 2 weeks later. We booked in a convenient date for the installer to come and actually install the device, and that day is today, folks. Now I'm going to try not to get in their way too much, but hopefully you'll get a really good idea of what's going to happen when the installer arrives to install your device. So the installer arrived on time, and as planned he had the charging unit in the van with him, so I didn't have to get that delivered beforehand. And he set about work. Little time lapse here of some of it, but see the first job was to go and actually check the cabling and the fuse and all the rest of that kind of stuff, and then he quickly whipped off the old Easy One charger, and we agreed on position for the new charger. I've also got this little junction box that he's putting in there, and again that was put in the agreed place. No problems with any of this. Really nice guy, just cracked on and did the job without any kind of drama whatsoever. Fairly quick, easy job by all accounts. So that's the install all done. Here's the new charger. See, this is where the old box sat. The cable comes out of the wall there, so this little junction box is in there, so it needs to join up here. We've now got an 8-meter tethered cable. This is quite a tricky little thing, so pop it in there, keeps the damp out of it and all that kind of good stuff. That all looks good. This is the actual unit. You've got some buttons on it, and the guy's just gone through the whole setup of the app with me. That's really simple. You simply put in your tariff details. You put the make and model of your car. Now this one obviously I've done for the Tesla. That's the car I mostly charge here, or the one we charge most often, I guess, because it tends to get the more use on longer trips. When I plug the SEAT into it, it will work in completely the same way. So it's going to look to prioritize charging at the cheapest point of the day. However, which obviously can be overnight. However, it won't be able to read. It won't have that two-way thing. So I won't be able to set this to charge to say 90% or something. It will just charge for a certain amount of time. But I can set a schedule for that. That's not a problem. The actual installation service was brilliant. I think we're probably under an hour for that whole thing. Obviously all he had to do was literally check all the existing cabling, which he did very thoroughly, check the fuse was correct, all that kind of stuff, and he didn't take any shortcuts with that. Now, because there was one already there, he could have just assumed that everything was good, but he didn't do that. He went and inspected everything personally, which is fantastic. It's what you'd expect, and certainly what you want when it comes to something as dangerous as electricity. So all happy that the original install was good. He's then swapped over the box to this, done everything needs to do there, and then set up the app with me. Spent probably 5-10 minutes going through that, asked if any questions. He's put a sticker on the side for their contact details in case we have any issues or problems going forward. Couldn't be happier with that service, really. Let's just take you through what happened first time round. So when we originally had the first charger installed, literally what they did at that point was install this whole box here, and that's some extra fuses that are specific to the charger. So all they do is shut the charger on and off. And perhaps if we'd have a larger or more modern consumer unit, they wouldn't have to do that, but because we don't, they just put it next to the old one. All done. The cable was run out to the front and installed. So that original install probably took, I would say, 3 hours roughly. Obviously it's not the most complex install here, and this time round literally looking at an hour. And so far I'm really impressed with the OHME app. It seems much more user friendly and have much more in the way of sort of user options than the previous one I was using, which was the easy one. So hopefully, folks, that's the charging situation sorted for, I don't know, the foreseeable future. Now, a lot of people, when they're talking about getting an electric car, will cite the cost of a car charger as being prohibitive. From $949 for an OHME charger. If you want the Home Pro, it's from $999, and that's fully supplied and installed. You'd only have to pay more than that if you've got a really difficult installation or really long cable run. And I don't think that's too bad at all. And I'm going to be doing a separate video very soon telling you how quickly I expect this to pay for itself. And pay for itself it does, and it doesn't take long. So keep your eyes open for that one if you're interested. Obviously that's helped massively by being on the Octopus tariff that I'm on. If you want to have a look at moving over to Octopus and benefit from really cheap overnight charging, then there's a link in the video description below. If you sign up using that link, you'll get a £50 credit and I'll get a £50 credit. So both of us will be very happy. I've been with Octopus for a while now. They seem to be at the absolute forefront when it comes to new thinking, and certainly not dinosaurs like some of the traditional utility companies. So give that a click, and hopefully it'll help you save a few quid. And I hope you found this video interesting. People often ask me, when are you going to do a video about having an electric car charger installed? And I always say, well, I did one quite a long time ago, but I think it's great to have an update, and especially with such a piece of modern tech. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.